Welcome back to the Den, and I'm here with my brother Nathaniel and Alex and Liam from the Drivers Collection. And my first question to you guys is, where did it all begin? How did you two meet, and where did this passion for cars start?
Yeah, do you want me to start?
Yeah, I'll let you. You started it, so I'll let you start.
As founder, so founded in 2018. It was as I'd finished building. I've got a Mark 1 Golf resto mod car that I'd built that many people have been bored of hearing me talk about previously, so I'll not get onto that. But it's all right. Reached the end of that project. Basically, I've got a bit of a passion for old crap, just in general. And the name, The Drivers Collection, was because the idea was that it was everything that somebody that is into cars would want as accessories. So it was like old F1 memorabilia, tyre, just shit. Just shit. So it started off from that. We were doing I bought and sold a fair few bits, to be fair, and really didn't make much money. It was pretty much an excuse just to buy all the shite that I wanted to buy myself, and then try and move it on and make 20 pence off it if I was lucky. But through that, doing the shows, then got a bit of a groupers that sort of started to form in 2018. That was sort of centralised around myself. It was friends that I'd made through the years through cars or various different points of life. And they're like, we want some T-shirts and stickers and add-on bits that we can use to promote Drivers Collection. And then we thought, well, yeah, this is going all right. We're selling a fair few T-shirts and whatever else. Let's do a meet. So beginning of 2019, we put plans for the first Drivers Collection meet, which then, I was talking to you earlier on about it, me overthinking everything, just sort of thought, well, it's as easy to do a show as it is to do a meet. That's kind of how it started, really, weren't it? You came in the middle of planning that first meet show.
After it fully went to shit. So, it was a great timing on my behalf to get involved at that point when it had just gone to shit.
I think probably the first 3 or 4 months of our friendships when you witnessed my first mental breakdown, really, weren't it?
The first of many.
Yeah.
That's your role, is to calm him down when it's all getting too much.
Basically.
I think it's fair to say me and you are very, very different people, but that is also part of the magic of it.
Yeah.
Where do we start? Started planning the meet. The original venue was a place called Norton Lightwood in Sheffield, which was an ex-RAF base that had been converted into being a driving school. And I had a photo shoot with the car at the time, which we found the venue with Superfly Auto, which is a magazine. Yes. And had this photo shoot, and one of the other lads who was really involved with it, Jack, was with me at the time, and we were all like, God, we should do a meet. Yeah, this would be the best thing since sliced bread. And Sheffield's, we badged it as Sheffield's first and only indoor car show, which is relevant later on in this story because it never materialised.
There's never been an indoor car.
So what actually ended up happening is we were renting it from the bloke who was renting it from Sheffield Council, and we paid him a bit of what little money we actually had to rent the venue and got insurance and did the risk assessments and did all that, and then the council shut the venue down 6 weeks before the show, and we have never seen that man since, with a pocket full of, at the time...
It's probably for the best that you haven't seen him again.
Yeah, I mean, 23-year-old me, pretty much all the money that I really had to spare at the time.
It weren't business money, it was full personal money at that stage.
Yeah, and it were for a fair few years after that, to be fair, weren't it? So, he did a runner, and I'd sold a load of tickets to it, and it weren't really in a great place, were it? So, we'll rewind a little bit. We met through a friend who I went to college with, Ben. Liam worked with Ben. Liam then sort of got a bit more involved with the club, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'll let you take over from this because I just chat shit all the time. So.
Ben were like, oh, you rate like cars and you build cars. You were 17 and you throw a load of shit at cars and put some chop springs on it and you do a load of things with cars, yeah. And then you're like, I've got a mate who does a load of things with cars. He's been building this car for 7 years, and it's been in his gap, and he's done a full engine swap. And I'm like, yeah, Ben talks a lot of shit. He's talking shit. This lad doesn't exist. Like I said to Ben many times, like, I'm never meeting this mate of yours, am I? No. We went to a show. This is Alex. This is his car he's built. I'm like, fuck, first true thing you've told me. They were actually a pretty good car. So then
Cheers, mate.
It was actually pretty good.
We got chatting. Alex, wherever he worked at the time, I was like, I think I had a Mark 6R that would mapping and doing all this. Oh, you can get a discount on Miltech. That's how we became friends, because I wanted a cheap exhaust.
Did I actually even end up getting you any
I
discount?
think so. I badgered you for a long time. I don't know if I got a discount, but I bought an exhaust anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a friendship formed through being used for a Miltech exhaust.
All the best friendships start that way.
More fool you.
Yeah, I've been fucked ever since. So I couldn't live without that exhaust.
So yeah, then Liam. So we lost the venue. Basically, we formed this friendship. Liam and Chloe, Liam's now wife, sort of started getting a little bit more involved with it. Chloe we're doing graphic design at the time, and she was like, I want to do some t-shirts and all that sort of stuff. And everybody mucks in one way or other. There's 20 odd of us by the time, really, when you get down to it, everybody that's involved with Drivers Collection. And yeah, the venue just basically went to shit. And I don't know how much we can say about how you spent your time.
No, I still work for a company, but it's different. But at that time, I had a lot more free time at work, and I was fairly local because we were looking at venues, and spent 95% of my paid hours at work looking for venues or doing Drivers Collection things, or I had all other lads
if
on
your boss
shop
is watching,
floor.
that's an exaggeration. It was only 10%.
Yeah, it was definitely not. It were after hours. It was definitely after hours. And then all lads who worked there, we had them eventually later on. They were all making signs, and I had a full production line of just everyone who worked there. They were great.
It was a very testing time, to say the least, because we had no venue. We'd sold a fair amount of tickets for a first show off the back of the success of what the Golf had done and the reputation that we'd built. We sold about 300 car space passes, and we had no venue, and certainly not an indoor one. That were definitely the Sheffield's first indoor car show, and we spent. I got a verbal warning at work for having a 2.5 hour poo. I were actually on Google Earth. That's how we ended up stumbling on the Aero Club, was through going on, right, who's got big fields, what type of venues can we look at? And we did look at Magna at the time as well, and realised that we definitely afford that. And that's when we came across Sheffield Aero Club, and Liam had a lunch break to go and view that one. So yeah, right from basically, through the utter shit show that was the beginning of Drivers Collection, is Liam were a really big part of making sure that everything sort of went ahead, and yeah, carried on. So yeah, that's how we found Sheffield Aero Club, who, again, we had that first meeting. I think that was the first breakdown that you witnessed, weren't it? After that first meeting that we had with the Aero Club.
There were. I've witnessed a few, but I'm sure that was the first one. Just the start. This was the start to a big breakdown. So at least the skin falling off hands or something like that.
Oh, that was I think that was the second or the third one. Yeah,
it's good. But I think probably the tipping point to that, because I think we all had a meeting there, discussed a few things, if they could do it. What would this entail? We've got a live airfield. Do you want to, in 3-4 weeks, bring 300-400 cars here? Like, what's going to happen? So we chatted to them about it, went through everything. They were fairly happy. They went to talk to their people. We went away just to pray that someone could do something, because we sold all these tickets. And then I think that's when I went back by myself to sign us up for this big deal, left pleased with myself, rang Alex, and I'm sure I'd said, oh yeah, it's great. It's like $6,000. He had a mental breakdown. I'm like, no, it's definitely not. I'm not joking.
It were along the lines of, "Are you for fucking real? Where the fuck am I going to get £6,000 from?" At the time, I were in the middle of buying his first house, so I couldn't take a loan out or anything like that because we actually ended up moving in his first house the week before the first show, which was.
I can see why the mental breakdown occurred.
There was a lot. I was very out of my depth. It was an interesting time, weren't it?
Yeah, it was good. It was good fun.
I mean, yeah.
There's two different pictures painted. It was good fun. You were having a mental breakdown.
Yeah. But that kind of I mean, that's basically how it all works, isn't it? Is I find things for us to do and ambitious projects. I think Cromford will arguably be one of those as well as, and then I go, Liam, how do we do this and not go bankrupt? And that's kind of how it's all sort of works out, is the yin and the yang kind of works really well. So first year, I mean, how long is this podcast normally?
I'm going to say, I feel like we've gone round and then backwards, and I'm not even sure where we are.
It's beautiful, right? It's flowing nicely. Okay, we're coming to that first event where you didn't have the indoor. Come, you're back in the room.
So we'll go back in. So what we ended up with, an outdoor venue in Worksop for Sheffield's first indoor car show. Fortunately, we were like, well, if anybody wants a refund, please fucking don't. Then you can have one somehow. It went ahead, and our first event, we had just over 300 cars there, didn't we? And it was a case of, if we can get through this and nobody wants to murder us and we don't kill anyone and it's all right, then great. That was the bar. The bar after the first, it weren't just like this was good for a first show. It was just it was a good show. And I still look back at that and think the standard of cars that we had.
I think the time and everything it were done in, it were more just, there were no aim to it than let's just do it,
just get as
not
good.
Piss anyone off, like, because the short notice, we don't want to ruin anyone's weekend or
I had
have
also
a shit show, crash any planes.
That's probably for the best.
We just wanted it to happen.
The bit that was probably missing in the middle of all this was probably my 18 hours of screen time a day that consisted of, if anybody's listening to this and you had an automated, what was like a pre-written message from me in 2019 going, well done, you've been selected to show you. Nobody fucking applied. It was just like, we've selected you for this. Like, we had any sort of basis to do that on whatsoever. It was stupidly ambitious, really, some of the cars that we were trying to get. But the answer to the message is if you message 20,000 people who've got decent cars,
individually,
300 of them might turn up. And that is exactly what happened, weren't it? It was 70% Volkswagens because that's what we were sort of the scene that we were known in, and we had some stonky motors turn up, didn't we?
Oh yeah. As a first show, it was unbelievable.
So yeah, dead chuffed, and the whole ethos of the event, which still is now, is to celebrate car culture and give back to owners. And we're a very owner, like we revolve around the people that are displaying. It's an event that is for people that build cars and that are into cars and to build a community. So that was the start of it. The ethos has not really changed in the years that we've been doing it. And it works. And then it was COVID.
Oh, yes. So how much money did you lose on that first one?
It wasn't too tragic. It weren't too bad.
You managed to pay your £6,000 bill to the Aero Club.
I mean,
I won't ask anymore.
He's round the sofa.
By the way, I wish the cost of doing these events now was £6,000.
Yeah.
If it was,
I don't even know if that's what I told you when I did say it. I just know I lied and said it was like 20 times more than it were.
Yeah.
Just so he'd have it. And I thought I were right funny, and he didn't even respond. He's like, "What the fuck? What are we gonna do?"
Yeah, and I guess this meeting that Liam went to, I don't know if they witnessed one of my meltdowns at the Aero Club or not, but like the original price that they did give us was like way out of reach. And then when you went back, you put your negotiating head on and it come back to something that we could get together. And some of it were paid afterwards, which was a very trusting on their part, because like nobody could have turned up and we could have been left with debt. And it just goes back to loyalties, really. Like they really stuck their neck out that first year. I couldn't even grow a mustache then. So when I look at like the faith that they put in us as a bunch of young fucking idiots to put this event on, who've got no money and no backing or anything like that, is why we're still there.
Yeah.
That is honestly why we're still there. We could have gone 10 times over to different venues for that September event, and we will hang on as long as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Purely because they got us out of shit creek, and I think we're in a position now where we bring a lot of income to them, and the event's grown. It's way oversubscribed, realistically. And we want to stay there as long as we can.
What goes round comes round, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and that again probably comes round to us being pretty shit businessmen.
We like them and they're nice to us, so we just stay there anyway.
Even though they're all geezers with planes that have got a bit of a wad, like, let's be right, there is some like really grassroots people that fly planes as well. It's not all people that are wadded. They so like us, but 70-odd-year-old. Like,
I think
they just love being there. It's run
they
off
all do them.
enthusiasm.
They all build their own planes and that. And like they're not kit cars, but it's effectively that they all build their own planes. That they're into it all. A lot of them have got old cars and that. So they're that kind of mentality anyway. They get it. They do enjoy it.
Yeah.
There is friends. Like, realistically, over the years that we've been doing it, is if we left there under circumstances that were like just down to us wanting to leave, I genuinely feel like I'd fuck my mates over. So we're pretty loyal to them as long as we possibly can. For the foreseeable. But
So
it's just shit at business.
So you've done that. The first event's out of the way. Breathing a sigh of relief. Went down pretty well.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
What was the next step?
Decide if I or we wanted to continue doing. I mean, we run some stuff through COVID. We were doing the socials in the background. Did a bit of the like automotive buying and selling bits and bobs and all that lot. But
Did we do any drops?
we did some clothing. Yeah, we did some clothing, and I would argue that in COVID were probably where the team really fused its strongest bond. Really, you were. I mean, legally you were very restricted in what you could do and couldn't like, and everybody were tinkering with cars in COVID. I don't think everybody can sort of say that some of the coolest shit that everybody's built has been through just being locked away and probably getting furlough money. So yeah, it kind of fuses all together, and it come round. I always remember that coming. The wishy-washy.
Oh God, I'm
bloody
Oh, there's always one, isn't there? There's always one.
Honestly,
the only one who hasn't done it.
can't get staff.
That's the Aero Club trying to get the rest of the money.
Everybody were building stuff, and as we were coming out of COVID, it were really for events like it were dangerous times, because you were at 1 minute you were out of lockdown, next you're back in. We announced that we were doing a show, and then we had to cancel it. And it was just sort of like all over the place. So in effect, we did our second one, the September one, and we didn't really know if that were going to go ahead, and that we'd got again, same situation. We got no money, no like anything that's going off, and we just managed to get away with it, realistically, didn't we? Everything let up, and it kind of helped us because we'd had a beginning of the summer where we'd had no events, and everything was sort of condensed to the back end of the year because Fitted was on the same weekend as well.
Yeah, is that when we did? Because we ended up doing a Saturday. We did a Saturday show and then went straight to Fitted on Sunday, didn't we? Or Saturday night, anyway. Yeah.
Was that? No, that was 22. Fitted didn't happen.
I
We
don't
did
know what
21.
happened last month, mate.
It was 22, and it was still all like a bit COVID-y, and we managed to get it over the line. And it all went really well, and that was probably the turning point where we thought, shit, we've actually got something here. There's some really stonking, like top tier show cars from the circuit that was turning
people
up.
who were still willing to support after just disappearing. Obviously, they know everyone disappeared for a year. We had one little event, some great cars, but then people who were still supporting, on going through COVID, who just didn't let up online or trying to support or trying to get together. we'd already, I think after the first show, there were already that community there.
Yeah.
Who wanted to keep it growing. So it were good even a year later.
Yeah. I mean, again, very shit as a business model. Not that it's ever been looked at as that, but very, very shit. But as a show, it were good. Like I think we were all sort of just stood back after that one and were like, fucking hell, we've kind of got something.
We can do this.
And it looks like we know what we're doing.
We still think that. It's just like,
You're much more convincing than we are.
but I can relate to the feeling, and I think a lot of people running what you perceive as really successful businesses are in the same boat, where you never feel like you know what you're doing. You always feel like you're kind of almost pretending, but that's how everybody feels. Like
You just about know what you're doing at the point you finish.
Absolutely. Still felt very much out of his depth, but when we stood back and looked at it and the response that we got from that event, managing to capture the niche of like, right, well, if you're displaying it's dead cheap because we want to celebrate ultimately the cause of the event. To be fair, from a public point of view, it's still pretty cheap as far as events go. To seeing that calibre of cars, we got our like USP. Like we were well connected with enthusiasts being car builders themselves, and we got this really cool niche in an area that there was just no events like it. So, then we thought, right, well, we're financially we're not particularly doing very good, so we signed ourselves up for Magna.
I thought you were going to somehow say that financially we were doing great.
No, we weren't. No,
that's bullshit.
I thought you were going to say exactly the same. I thought you were going to say financially we were doing great, so we then moved to this amazing venue. No, the opposite.
It was.
We just thought, fuck it. We'll see. It can't get much worse, can it?
I mean, I think really when we look at it, we were just both doing better personally with his own work. When you look back at it, like, you started to do really well at work. I'd got a different job which were paying a bit more money than what we were. We were a little bit more comfortable in his own personal way, and we were like, fuck it, we'll just take this big gamble. And
it's always a thing that no matter what, it changes so much about money and who's panicking. A lot of time, you'll be certain brains. You'll be like, I found this F1 fuel pump and I want to spend $1,000 on it for uni. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. Why would you do that? Of his own money, by the way. Yeah. But I'm like, well, that's fucking idiotic. But then we do a venue that's fucking tens of thousands. And I'm like, yeah, it'll be right. It'll be fine, won't it? He's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So Magna.
Yeah.
That's ambitious.
Yeah. Even when I look back at that, I just think, well, what a bunch of fucking idiots. Like,
there was such a persona put on for that. And I mean that in a ridiculous way, that we went to this venue, we'd done this little car show in a field, everyone just like, yeah, be right. And the next thing I'm just like, yeah, with risk assessments and liability insurances, and yeah, I'll contact council and we'll have a gathering. I'll call police, don't worry about that. And he's looking at me and I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Your mouth's moving. It's your brain.
And all events organised, obviously, they deal with these massive companies and they do Comic-Cons and this and that. And there's just us two stood there like, yeah, I've got all that. I'll send you that next week. And I'm just fucking peddling around at home trying to put it all together.
It was all going, I feel like we blagged it all really well. And then they talked about bombs. Oh no. Oh, we might be a bit out of his depth again. Yeah.
So for those who don't know, tell me what Magna is.
So if you're from round our neck at Woods, you will have 1,000% been to Magna on a school trip. It's one of the, like, realistically, what is, aside from Meadow Wall, if you want to call that an attraction, it's like a science and adventure centre it was like a millennial project, and it's a science and adventure centre that is an ex-steelworks. So, I mean, I don't know if most people won't even have a clue who we are, who are listening to this, but we kind of lean on where we're from a bit, and we're very proud of where we're from.
Even though we've never done an event in Sheffield.
Yeah, and you're from Worksop.
Yeah. Minor detail. To anyone south of here, you sound northern, that's enough.
Most of us are from Sheffield. and Magnus
Even
in
Magnus are
Rotherham,
Rotherham, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was going to
We're
say.
literally never
It's the
done
other side of the motorway.
Sheffield.
which is the running joke that we're a Sheffield-based car club that's never
Everywhere.
done
We've
an
got
event in
Sheffield everywhere, and we've never done anything there. He lives in Chesterfield.
Oh, shut up. Only just. I'm on the border.
I've got an S81 postcode, so that's enough for me.
Magna's like a pretty big deal from like where we're from. It's a big venue, even though car capacity is not quite as much as what we get at our September one.
Design concept.
Yeah, it's much more money than anything that we'd ever done before. 430 cars it was, weren't it?
Mm-hmm.
And we'd still never, but when we booked that, we'd still never sold September out, which is, we now know is a 490 car capacity venue. Ambitious to say the least, but what we lacked in professionalism and money, we made up, and everything else, we kind of made up with for pure obsession. Like, it became, right, if this isn't successful, we are fully fucked. So it has to be, and that is it. And the hours of, and I don't think the people that were sort of, I mean, Matt at OCD gives a little bit of an hand with it to start with. He has been one of our sponsors, but I don't think that the people that came to that show quite realised like how much we really, and still do, everything that we do, how important they are to the success of it all, because the amount of people, we had to hit, for it to even wipe its face, we had to hit 3,000 people at that event.
Wow.
Yeah. Stupid.
That's a big commitment.
I was going to say, at the time, that seemed like an unsurmountable amount of pressure. Like, we have to make 3,000
Well,
people.
we were walking round, and because we don't want it over, like too many public. You don't want it. You want space between cars. You don't want to cram it in. We're all about the car builders and the cars and the enthusiasm or the enthusiasts, but not always about the public. But you need the public. So we've built this car show based on everything around cars and people, but cars and people don't pay a bill. But then we don't want too much public. We need public there to be able to pay for it. So like, what the fuck are we doing?
Trying to strike the balance, isn't it? Keep it like underground enough. That's always the thing with anything like this. You got to keep it underground enough that it's cool, but it has to have enough people to pay the bills. And it's a difficult thing.
And as of recently grown, like we up until that point, we had, if we can get through this and it wipes its face or done a bit or whatever, then it is what it is, and it's just do cool shit, because that's what we want to do with his life. We want to do cool shit, and that's it. At this point then, we put the deposit down on that venue, and we'd still got a September show to go. And then we're like, oh shit, we kind of need to make some money from this to like pay for some of Magna. And we were right back, like how it felt in Magna felt like the first year that we ever did a show. Apart from the bills were fine. I don't even like...
Bills had an extra naught on.
Yeah.
Basically.
They really did. And they'd take your house if you like...
You would just want to think, you take there's always these stages when you try to do any form of business, but then we went from a little field, even though there are planes and that everywhere, it was very much of a berate attitude. It was great. Exactly what we're about. Yeah, it'll be right. We'll just do this. We'll do this. It's changed in the recent years, but then you go to Magna and they're like, oh yeah, police are here, and but you need to do this, and you need to do this. You're like, what the fuck are they talking about? I just want to bring a load of people, and some cars, like so. It just changes massively. And like you said, then we have to sign contracts, and they're going to come for your house. And you're like, oh fucking
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very serious, and yeah, straight back to. Definitely don't know what we're doing again, but we'll just blag it and just, and I guess that's kind of what, like I say, most people do that, and you have to learn quick and sharpen up, basically, and that's basically why Liam comes in, because I'm a fucking idiot. So, you obsessed over the legalities and everything that it kind of took to get it over the line, and I obsessed on, right, how are we going to get 3,000 people to this event, and in what way can we do it? And that's kind of where off that... We had a September one that was successful in the middle of that, which I think was the year that we did the Saturday show rather than the Sunday. That went well, but still nowhere near what we needed to pay for Magna. So thus begun our unique marketing style.
I think that was the
That was the start, really.
start of the downfall of your life.
It's not, yeah, well,
The downfall of your online media presence.
we again, I feel like this podcast will probably just be us just saying we have no money, but we had no money. So there's a few ways to
We can
get.
do a collection.
Yeah. Please, we're going to set a GoFundMe up for these stupid people from Sheffield and Worksop that have
Just
got
me.
So there's a few ways to get eyes on what you're doing. If you're doing an event and you need to grow it quickly, and one is throw a bucket load of money at marketing and get people in to do some great adverts and put money behind it and do all that sort of shit. The other way is to be very well connected with people that have can sponsor it and get behind you and get a bit of an uplift and help promote it. We didn't have that. So what ended up was me being on a billboard in the middle of Sheffield on a toilet.
This is where it becomes sometimes it's mainly me saying, yeah, it's fine, we'll be right, we'll just spend money, and he's panicking. And then he rang me and was like, Liam, I've got a great marketing strategy. Like, what is it? It's going to cost fucking, it's not actually loads, but at the time for us it's going to cost fucking loads. But I'm going to sit on a toilet, I'm going to put a billboard on Parkway. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. Why would you want to do that?
It was the main, so as you come off the M1, you've got Sheffield Parkway that goes into Sheffield Town Centre. Yeah. And before what we call it's like Hell Roundabout or whatever my mother used to call it, because she used to get the wrong lane every time we ever went on it. That is probably one of the highest, and what I'd worked out is I sit in this traffic every day and stare at that fucking digital billboard. And I kind of want to be on it. And what can we do? But the billboard wasn't enough to promote, these are for big corporations, basically for, I don't know, Coca-Cola or Monster Energy or whatever, to promote for X amount of time. And it's pennies to them, whereas to us it was fair whack of money. So what we managed to get was, I was on the phone to the billboard company. Like, what is the shortest amount of time? Like
a fucking Thursday night at 10 o'clock.
I've got a budget of £100. What can I do?
It was 2 weeks. It was up for 2 weeks on a rotation. But then also the whole idea of the billboard was not the billboard. It was the video for the billboard, right? And we'd done this, again, people probably not listening, and people that do know us know I have many alter egos, and they're not as cool as David Bowie's. They're all borderline worrying. So I got this alter ego or this character that we'd done, and we were like, right, well, what type of person would come to Magna, and what we come to the conclusion was that this guy called Jeffrey that was a geography teacher, and they're all sort of loosely based around the cars that I've owned at the time, as well as, which normally my dailies, which were a Volvo 740 Estate. So I actually had these trousers on. and
You've been wearing them ever since.
yeah.
It's scary how much these alter egos and these weird people are based solely on his personality.
They're not, because this guy was so on the edge of being somebody that you definitely want to spend time with. We just did this tour. We didn't book him with him either. We didn't tell him it was happening. And this character was born through Tyler, which we should give a nod to Tyler for his incredible Loaf Media, is ultimately one of my best friends from being a toddler that's managed to get, sorry mate, dragged into all this shit that we're doing. And we just walked round with an iPhone and I had a load of energy drinks, and we just did stupid shit in this venue, such as shouting tits in an echoey hall, and just did this 90s sort of travel documentary type skit where it was we'll go around the venue and say what it's all about to advertise it. And it went ballistic, and people sort of bought into the stupidity of it all that had nothing to do with car shows whatsoever. It was just a skit. And we put Jeffrey, which was me in a wax jacket, on the billboard on the toilet, which Joe took the photos of. it was for Ultimate Dubs, wasn't it? It was.
So I'm sure you were pissed or rung over,
Yeah, it was.
or just looking generally terrible.
It was shot in the Telford International Centre Hotel. Yeah, and it went on, and we had to basically get the billboard up on the time slot, to then me finish work, to then it go up and me be able to film myself with me on the, and then so we filmed and edited the full video with just this empty bit like in the video, so that I could shoot it. I then drove from there to Tyler's house, finished the cut, and then it went out at 7:30 at night on that day, to then get people to go, and the goal was get people to go and pull up in this lay-by and take photos of you on the fucking Sheffield Park.
I was going to say, that's quite a busy road, to be honest.
The photos of him getting the photos himself was fucking carnage. He's like, oh yeah, as soon as I leave work at 5 o'clock, I'm going to pull up on side of Parkway.
It was an absolute...
That's going to be, busy.
Yeah. In full costume with a Volvo 740 as well as. So people are it's sat in rush hour traffic, seeing the guy that's on the billboard with the stupid hat, the wax jacket and the brown corduroys on, laughing, doing a selfie video in front of the billboard with him on the toilet. So
was there like a caption or anything? Or was it?
It was the show flyer with me on the toilet, basically. Guerrilla marketing, is one word for it. But what we realised is you can be professional and do something really, really good and not have a stick up your arse and be boring. So we wanted to basically get across what it is actually like within the club, across to people, and show that you can do cool shit and be really good at what you do. And have fun.
And still be on a billboard on the toilet.
Or if not cool, at least funny.
Yeah, thus and that. Yeah, basically. We don't claim to be cool. We have cool cars, and I definitely don't claim to be cool. I'm a bit of an idiot, really. But you can have fun.
Yeah.
And that revolves all the way straight back to 2019. First, do cool shit with your mates and have fun, and that is like that. And do something good within a space and within the car community that I feel like realistically have done so much for me. All my closest friends are basically now through car. Everything is all through the community. It's all so give back and give them some stupid videos and do funny shit and just have fun.
Yeah. It's funny. Nat and we often get asked kind of what the goal is and what the business plan was and all of this sort of stuff, and the answer is almost always exactly the same. All we wanted to do was just mess around with cars and meet cool people, and that's pretty much the same thing. Yeah. We just want to build cool cars,
it's just got out of hand.
Cool people. It's got out of hand.
that exact thing is exactly why we all sat on this couch. The same reason. It's like we wouldn't have become, again, through James or whatever else, we wouldn't have got into contact with each other. You wouldn't meet all these incredible people doing incredible things if it weren't for the love of the cars and community. So, that's kind of like just sort of and much to your. I mean, some of them again, you've said you can't do that, Alex. And I'm like, I think it'll be all right. People will get it, and fortunately, everybody's a bit sort of sideways and do get some.
I can't even remember what most recent ones were, but there were me and Chloe. So we just have a chat.
I've sent them through,
and we just like, you just can't do it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, even me, I'm like, we do stupid shit because it's funny. I'm like, but this is just fucking terrible. And somehow it still landed and everyone loves it, so I can't knock it. But
there's a real line between, like, not that we're geniuses, because we're definitely not, but that whole line between genius and insanity type thing. It's probably a little bit over it.
That when you were talking about the whole billboard thing and the plan to, film all the lead up to it, and that whole plan is the sort of thing I could imagine a London marketing company coming up with and charging you like 50 grand for. And that was just you guys. Just you guys thinking this would be hilarious. Let's just do this.
Just add this in. Like so, the process for these videos that ultimately have like kind of built up our following and whatever else is energy drinks, Chinese food, and we just like me and Ty literally just send videos to each other non-stop. It's just like, have you seen this? Have you seen this? How can we do? What can we do? What about like if we did our version of this or whatever? And a lot of the videos that we send each other are nobody gets. So I'll send them to Liam and he'll be like, why is that funny? I'm like, oh, well, trust me, we can do this like this and whatever else. So it starts off as like so far over one way on, like in terms of how niche that type of comedy is, to then sort of bring it back
Gradually
in.
winch it back, only just over the line.
Yeah, so it's still enough to get like attention on it, and again, it just have fun with. But all of these, so anything that you see on Driver's Collection is either stuff that I've filmed, so I'd probably say I'm the biggest contributor to our content that we put up. Tyler does, like between me and him, generally I'll direct or write a script between us, get together, he'll add to it, and we'll work that process together because, again, we've known each other since before we were old enough to talk. We've been friends all our lives, so kind of just get how each other's brains work, and it's a little bit scary sometimes. Or such as like John Langley or James Evelyn or people like that are photographers that contribute to the page. So, but it's all basically just passions. All the content and everything that's on there is all in-house. It's all from passion. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's made for some great skits, really, hasn't it? I'm trying to... What came after that? I'll not go through them all into detail. If people want to go back through the years, there's some that I have been sat in. When I had the interview for the job that I've got now at Great Northern Classics, I was terrified scrolling back through and just not understanding what the whole idea was. Unfortunately, they didn't scroll back that far.
Even when you did the billboard one, though, where you worked, didn't James see it on the way and was like, have I just fucking seen you on a billboard on way to work? You're like, oh, yeah, I didn't tell you that. Like his old bosses just caught him on way in, like, what the fuck was that?
Better to ask for forgiveness than permission and all that. And I mean, credit to my previous employers and current, they have put up with a lot. Like, and James, I used to work for at CLP when I was in the motor trade last year. Is the most patient man I've ever, and most people don't leave a company and speak so highly of the boss. He's an unbelievably patient man that put up with quite a lot when it comes to sort of with Driver's Collection and all the stuff that we've done with that. Yeah, he weren't informed and passed it and seen it for himself. So that was funny.
So going back to the venues, obviously you did Magna, which was extremely ambitious and presumably paid off okay.
If you spoke to an accountant,
they would not say it was paid off okay.
No, they would say you risked X for X.
X for minus X.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like by the time we worked it out, it kind of wiped its face, didn't it? But yeah, a stupid amount of money to gamble on what realistically, I don't think it would have fed everybody for a weekend of the team. You're talking next to fuck all.
So what was the next big goal venue wise after that one was out of the way?
So yeah, I mean, do you want to take off? Because I've chatted so much.
Yeah, you're good at talking shit, aren't you? After that, it was just trying to. We were like, are we going back to Magnum? What's happening? We're always at the minute going to do a September show, and then after we're early that year, so. We did Magnum about May time, and it were after the September show. We're like, what are we doing? Are we going back to Magnum? Are we not? Do we need to find a different venue? Are we still doing 2 shows?
I think
backward and forward for everything.
I'll butt in here, even though I said I've talked too much. The moment I made my mind up that we weren't doing Magna again was on the evening of doing Magna. So after we'd finished it, before we'd even looked at anything financially or anything like that conversation that we had with them when they said that they were doing building work at that venue was like, well, that's all. We invested. The idea was that we can't just do this once and half-arse it. We've kind of just got to put fucking everything we've got into this, because if we do it again, if it flops on the first time out, nobody's going to come back for the second year and it'll flop then anyway. So we might as well just make it amazing the first time round and then worry about money and all that shit afterwards, weren't it? So we invested quite a bit of money in stuff such as the banner,
Mega banner.
the banner that was very, very expensive as well as. We invested all that stuff to hopefully be doing it for 5 years, and we found out on the night after we'd done the show that they were doing building work and ultimately we weren't going to be able to do it again, which was shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. They said, oh yeah, it was the unknown or uncertainty. Because you're speaking to them and you think you've got this massive project going on. They were ripping up all car parks, but yeah, it's fine. We're only doing one side, then we do the other side. Well, if you do one side, we lose 200 car spaces. It's impossible. You're saying that we had an introductory thing, so the venue was going up in price, and we lose half the car capacity. Well, we're not great businessmen, but that doesn't make sense.
No.
So and then they just couldn't ever give an answer of what are we going to get it back? Are they not doing it? And then the worst thing in the world is it's still not fucking happened. So
fucking useless. Ultimately, what it would have meant is less cars. We would have had to, because of how the first year went, the footfall that we got we were really happy with, but it still didn't quite gear enough for a buffer to build off. So we would have had to put ticket prices up. The venue would have gone up in price, and we would have lost car space. It just didn't. It would never have been as good as the one time that we did it. And any event that we do could always be the last one. It is always that. We definitely didn't think we would end up doing Cromford again, did we?
No.
So, which I'll let you lead on to that one. What is ultimately what came after Magna, wasn't it?
Well, I can't even remember how. Did we do after Magna? Then we did September show. Did we do Cromford that year?
Yeah.
The straight year after?
Yeah. So
it all blends into one big thing for me. I can't even remember what years ago.
So we announced Magna in 2022. We did Magna in April 23. We then did September Aero Club again in 23. And then we were basically without venue, and we narrowed a few down to what we wanted to do, but we knew that we wanted to do something that was sort of.
I wouldn't even say there were anything specific though when we were looking. All I'd say is that you probably visited 900 venues at a minimum. Every day it's like, oh, I've been here. What the fuck are you?
It's just another mental breakdown on the horizon.
Basically, just endless driving, and I didn't even. We were trying to plan stuff, and he's like, "Oh, I'm in Somerset." He was never in Somerset. And I'm like, "Where the fuck are you today?" And he just started driving, looking at random shit every night, everywhere. And we were like, "Oh yeah, we'll go and look at this." Oh, I went there last Thursday. We're like just fucking relentless viewing places, trying to speak to everyone, and they were just no. I wouldn't say there's never a plan.
Yeah, I mean,
Just found it.
Where's Cromford Mill? Don't know Cromford Mill.
Middle of Matlock.
Oh, yeah, I do know. Yeah, I do know.
So, I mean, like just going back to that, like what Liam was saying about driving around, and this all basically comes back round to my brain that I'm sure if there's any psychiatrists on here, you'll diagnose me as poorly. So it's like
We know that from the marketing campaign.
no, I don't know. There's something wrong with me, definitely, 100%. You've said it for years.
Yeah, I've said it for a long time.
I don't know what part of the spectrum it is, but it's on there somewhere. But it's like it's obsessive. I can get obsessive over certain stuff, and that was the same when I was building the car. How my missus put with me, I'll never know through that, because it was like, I'm not going to bed unless I know I've got this done or whatever. And that's sort of gone over into show, which makes me an absolute fucking nightmare to deal with. It takes a very special type of man, and Chloe as well, to put up with me. So that's what that was. Is like, we've got no venue. I will fucking find one if it kills me. So it was, when you said 900 venue visits, I've not done 900 venue visits. I have probably sent 900 emails to different venues. Even if I didn't think it were going to fucking work, like Cromford, nobody would think of doing a car show there, realistically. But it's just chuck a load of stuff out. If you get a reply and somebody's relatively positive about it, and then you go on Google Earth, right, can you get cars in? Sweet. Then you visit it. There's like a sort of a process to my madness, and that would basically end up, we'd done venue visits before, and then I went off and done 4 after. When you thought I were going home, and I'm like, no, this is only an hour away, so I'll go and look at this, or go because I can't sleep otherwise. So that's
It's determination. It's determination. That's what I'm sort of seeing the common thread through all of this is determination to make it work no matter what. Like,
and
hey, let's do
self-pressure.
Magna. Okay, and then it's determination to make
just
it
figure
happen.
it out.
Like, it has to happen. At that point, you've set the goal, and it has to happen. And
Yeah, you can end up just like being bored if you're not stressed. I think
Yes. It's make his own.
I know that feeling. Is
I'm too busy. I'm too busy. There's
Too much on. I can't stay on top of this, and then go away from it and chill out for like a day, and I'm like, yeah, I'm bored now. Get back to the stress.
yeah, it's day three.
Fucking hell, I need something to do. That's
Day 3 of a holiday, and you're like, right, where can I rent a quad, or just do anything? Because it just drives me nuts, not being busy. So, but then also get very stressed quite easily as well. It's not really, again, if there's any psychiatrists, just fucking help me. But yeah, that's kind of how it all came about, and I never thought that Cromford would really. I just thought, wow, it's just one of those things that we've sort of thrown out there, really.
It's how it all comes together. It's just, I'd say, the more out there thinking, because if you only went to Cromford as a venue, it's impossible. What do we get? 60 cars in the actual mill? But then there's Woods area, which is a different owner of a separate car park. And then we have to go across road to Wharf, and that's Cancellone car park. And then there's the next
I was going to say, my recollection of Cromford Mill, now I have realised where it is it doesn't seem that big of an expanse of a place.
It's a logistical nightmare because there's 4 or 5 different contenders in every, like, being able to pull everything together. And then even that, the first year we did Cromford, we're like, well, this is never going to happen because some smart planning person added the same day of we were doing the first event there, a marathon with like 600 people. And we were trying to block this car park, and we'd rented this car park and this canal area, Wharf, beautiful area. We're like, we'll go in here. Why is there 6 coaches parked in here? Why am I, what are you doing? Why is there different food? There's a barbecue man over here. We haven't booked a barbecue man. Oh yeah, we've had this booked for a year. We're doing a marathon.
It was the day before. We found out the day before. It was like, just to let you know, there might be a few runners.
That's what it was going to be. Literally, we're going to be a few runners.
A few runners.
And they were, I don't know, they were whatever a marathon is, loads of miles. Then there were an half marathon and a quarter marathon. So they were all like hundreds and hundreds of people and just shit everywhere. Like, oh great, we've got to get a few hundred cars here in a few hours, and we need to get all these people out and move food traders.
Another mental breakdown inbound.
The stress of that, again, all the things that make that event, like, and we are to it, that event is beautiful. It is like, I've so wished somebody else organised it so that I could enjoy it. It is.
You hit a good point there as well.
Yeah. Again, it can sort of, when we go and look at these venues and like how my brain works, I can sort of close my eyes, and we've done it again where we've walked round and somebody who's a manager or a site or whatever is like talking shit, and I'm just stood there with my eyes closed, just sort of picturing like, oh, I think it would lay this out here, this would go here, and this is how it all sort of, and it's going to flow through, and you'll feel this, and that customer journey is like such a big part of like what we do. How that day makes you feel is almost as important as how it looks on social media or any of that shite, because ultimately that is the key thing. So it all comes together like the most incredible event, but for all those reasons why everybody else enjoys it is why it is the most stressful. It's a World Heritage Centre, so you can imagine how many people want to shout at us for putting 270 modified cars in like, not all in Cromford Mills, but it's not flat, it's very uneven. There's a lot of things that you can't touch, and there's a lot of things that you will get butchered if you definitely touch, and everything's got to be literally, I cannot fart without a permission slip. And it is very, very, very stressful. So although when we did that one the first year round, it was a different kind of stress to Magna, because at that point we could afford to do the show. And we knew it was going to lose money. Like, from the moment that we booked it, we knew that it was, they purely just do cool shit, and let's do something cool and do something that's not been done in the UK. And an evening event at that site is ambitious. So all those pressures were kind of the other side. But what we did have was them screaming at us quite a lot, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
And a coach full of runners, all 6,
Multiple coaches and a very, very angry venue.
and gridlocks,
Holders.
Matlock.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, we gridlocked it.
It's gridlocked at the best of times, to be fair, isn't it, Matlock?
It's not got the best material flow of traffic, has it? So. And then when you've
blame it
got
on the runners.
6 coaches and 400 cars, it doesn't help.
But yeah, it's a fucking cool show, isn't it?
Oh yeah. And the first night or the first year we did it, like the sun was setting, it was red hot, and like good music, and it just felt like a European show.
Yeah, suddenly
Like it was just beautiful.
all the stresses floated away. It was
Briefly.
Briefly,
If you get the 10 seconds just to stand there,
yeah.
it's beautiful. Then it's back to running around.
Yeah.
But,
I think there's like again, it goes back to trying to curate memories that you like so I'll look back at 2019. We drove out to a Wörthersee, which is like a big Volkswagen festival in Austria, and there were certain pockets and certain meets that we had there that I like look back on and think I think that was my favourite event, like feeling I've ever had in an event, and trying to curate that same thing in the UK, which I don't think's really ever happened in that same experience. So that's basically what it was all sort of based off, is just trying to make them moments.
The phrase you've just used there sums it up perfectly. It's curating the experience.
Yeah.
And that's something that is so lacking in a lot of the British car show scene. And like nothing more so. And I'm sorry I'm going to badmouth a particular show, but the NEC, and basically most things at the NEC, but the NEC like classic motor show, it's just like
garbage.
it's there's cars to see, but there's no feel to the experience. You're just walking into a big room with a load of cars, and it doesn't. There has to be, people don't realise they're kind of being pulled through an experience that's been partially sculpted for them. But that's what you guys have done. You know, you've it's not just the venue, it's not just the cars, it's the way everything's come together and the experience you get, and that's what the memories you take home, and that's what makes you want to go back to an event like that, is the memories of the whole experience, rather than just there was these amazing cars.
Yeah.
It's not just, we were talking earlier about Ultrace and the fact it's perhaps not gone as well as it could this year, shall we say. And that's a great example of, you can put the best cars you want in seemingly an amazing venue, but because the whole experience wasn't handled well, I don't want to go back. You don't want to go back. And this is what you guys have done so perfectly. But what I will say is, I always liken this thing, like when a company of any sort or organisation starts to become successful, there's always this sweet spot where it's like still underground and cool and people want to go, but it's growing, and then you run the risk of, like a successful band trying to release a sequel album that has to appeal to the people who already liked their music, but be different enough to not just be the same thing again. It becomes a massive challenge. And what are you guys thinking for the future? And are you worried that you'll lose the cool factor if it gets too big?
I think this sort of flips around to like a mindset change of what we really had after Magna. So the goal was always grow, more cars, more this, more that. We'll make it a better experience.
Bigger's better.
Yeah, you always think bigger is better, and growth has to look a certain way. But then ultimately, when you turn around and think, well, this thing's never going to pay me fucking mortgage, so who gives a shit? So growth doesn't have to go bigger, because I think the moment that you get that turning point where you have to do certain things to make a certain profit, and to keep a roof over your head, then you have to start making decisions that I wouldn't make if just what I'm getting across.
I know
trying to
exactly
make
what you
sense.
mean. Yeah.
I will start thinking that I will have X trader here selling X because they're going to pay me 500, 600 quid for a trade stand.
Your decisions become commercial.
Yeah.
Not about the experience. It's about
our food vendors. We have some of the best food vendors out there, because they know it's going to be a great day for them, and we don't fleece them. So
Yeah.
we don't charge them what other events would charge them, because we want our customers to have a really, the prices to be the same as if they were going to a, like Meat Castles. If they were going and setting up on one of their pop-ups that they have, their prices are the exact same at our event as what they would be out in the wild as such.
Pub in Retford.
Yeah.
It's the same as it is coming to our car show. Like, no matter where you go, it's
Now,
they do what they do.
Now, if this thing were paying as mortgage on his house or whatever, then I might think, Jesus Christ, mate, you're going to have to start, pulling your weight a little bit on what you're paying. I've seen the size of your queues or whatever, and, gas and lecky's gone up this year, pal, so I need to get a bit more money out of you. And then prices start rolling up, and then it starts... And there's all sorts of things that we could cut corners on that would, if you're our accountant, tell us what the fuck you're doing, like your best in show trophies that cost thousands to get to rather than having cash prizes, we spend it all on the trophies, and all that giving back to the community would all be lost.
Yeah.
Um,
Basically, at the point, it goes from just how can we make this cool to how can we make this profitable? And
Yeah.
that's the thing you've got to avoid, basically, which you're smashing it. Like,
Never let
it's
your
just-
accountant run the business.
No.
Never ever let the accountant run the business.
and this has always been really the problem with what we do is to grow, whatever which way you look at. We tend to look at growth, not now how many cars or what size. It's how can we grow the experience for people? How can we make it better? How can we make the standard of vehicles that we're putting on display and everything just a better experience and more unique, and try different things and think outside the box? How can we do that, but then also be one of the cheapest shows on the calendar as well as? So being exclusive doesn't necessarily mean expensive, because, and that also relates back round to like our clothing, the quality of clothing that we put out there. I know there's certain companies that use the same blanks as what we use, and we do use blanks, and they're nearly double what we charge, because our markup on our clothing's pretty shit. Again, bad businessmen. So, but I don't, we're both working class people. We both come from that background where we've not been able to do certain stuff because we can't afford to do it, and being exclusive don't mean you have to be expensive. Certain stuff, it does. It definitely translates
if
over.
Are expensive, then they become expensive. But we just try and keep it cheap, and it with the same ethos as
It's attainable.
the first show we did it for the people, and then we're trying to build a show that we want to go to.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
don't
it is.
want people to come away and just feel like they've just had, like, we've had his hands in a pocket halfway, like all the way through it, and they've spent more than they wanted to on a day out.
Yeah, NEC's
such
a
as the
classic
NEC.
for that. It's just a classic for that now.
Yeah,
You
time
just
paused,
feel
and then
feel
got it,
fleeced. don't
I
you?
come
It is.
out exhausted, underwhelmed, and fucking skinned.
Yeah.
Like 20 quid on parking your car. Like,
Yeah.
we charge half of that to display, and you can win a trip like
I
a
went
trophy that's
to
worth.
I went to the Autosport show last year.
Oh, good God.
And
Bless you.
this year, last year, whatever it was.
We
January
can't remember
this
that, yeah.
year it would be, wouldn't it? And yeah, I'd not been for a while, and that was I used to go all the time. I used to go every year, and that was just you can tell it was literally in its last turning over before it died. And it was.
It's a good job
and I
we
think
don't want to exhibit at the NEC, isn't it? We've given it right back.
I think they're finished. I think it's cancelled this year.
Well, yeah,
I think the Autosport show's finished anyway. I think it's finished.
Any event that you look at that's there, I mean, I've not been to a classic car show for a while, but it's huge, isn't it, realistically?
There's a lot of
But it's not good.
there's a lot of people trading tat. Yeah.
It's when your big event becomes just exhibitors or traders, and it's a trade show, and that's what it is.
Most stuff to cover them bills, and it's, I mean, not to knock the organisers or anything like that, but they've got to pay them bills on that place, and I don't know how much it is to rent that, and I don't really want to know. So, but to pay those bills and then organising a show like that is a full-time job. It absolutely is a full-time job. So, I mean, if they want to cut about in Lamborghinis and whatever else they want to do off the back of that show, they've got to make a fucking ton of money for it to even wipe its face, and then all the profits and then all that sort of shit that goes into it. So, not for me is the answer, basically, I think.
You do you, and because you're doing it bloody well.
Yeah, and that was the same feeling when we go back to Ultrace. I had that, I really just didn't feel like they gave a fuck about the people that were going.
No, that was the feeling I got.
Yeah.
No.
You paid for your tickets, you're here, let's cattle you in, there's no toilets, there's no water. I mean,
yeah.
we'll not go too far into it.
No, let's
But
not go
it
too
was great. So
We talked about it earlier, and I think I was extremely glad, and I think you were in the same boat, that we'd done a road trip there. So actually, the experience was amazing because, again, we'd curated our own experiences, and actually, the show part of it was the bad bit. But the rest of it was amazing.
the motors were like the stand of the cars that they bring to that event is phenomenal. But then again, that does come with it being a commercial thing because there's loads that they just pay to have there. You don't get cars over from Japan willingly off their own back, which is also, again, another little bit of a weird one where somebody walks away with best in show and a nice fancy ultra-race watch, and they've not paid anything to be there. Like poor Jerry, who was drove from London in his do you know?
I know.
It's just a bit.
I know what you mean. You kind of you want it to be a leveler playing field, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So what's in store for 2026 then, from you guys?
We've not planned next month, so.
Yeah, I mean, we've done 2 years at Cromford now. I don't want to say too much on the events until we've got some shit locked in, basically. But we're working very hard.
Alex has done a lot of driving around.
Yeah, we've done a lot of driving, a lot of thinking, a lot of planning, a lot of I'm in that same mindset as what I was pre first show, pre Magna, all that lot. My head's fucked again, so that's good news for everybody that wants to go.
Alex having a mental breakdown, so it's great for everyone.
There'll be some insanely high bar immediately being set, which then you have to commit to. And you have to see it through.
But we don't ultimately at the moment. We don't know.
Yeah, genuinely,
We genuinely don't know. We've got ideas of different ways. I mean, this year for a September show, we did our burger night, which were the first one that we'd done. So we'd always done sort of probably a little bit sort of underground pre-meets around the September event, which is obviously on a Sunday. And we worked with his friends, Josh, who was at B-Roll, who was another guy that we'd like to sort of get around and put a rocket up his arse to do more stuff, because he's a very cool guy that does really cool stuff. But sort of,
we'd trick a load of people to come to workshop, telling them it's Sheffield, and then at night they realise, we're in workshop now, so there's not much to do. So we always did cool stuff on a Saturday night, so people had because a lot of people travel from a long way, and they all stayed over, and then
I would say as well as like sort of 70-80% of the people that display at our show, if not more, I have spoke to at some point, either in person or messaged, or I've got some sort of personal relationship with them through the amount of events that I do through the year. If you've got a cool car, I've probably told you you've got a cool car, and had a good chat about it, which is part of the pleasure of doing all that. But what the problem is then when you put an event on, you ain't got time to talk to all those people and really thank them for making these long trips up and getting behind what we're doing. So we were like, well, let's do something that, and ultimately, the staff can enjoy as well as there's people that volunteer at a show. So we did a pre-meet, which was the burger night, which we thought we'd get about 100 cars to, or we kind of planned for, and that went better than the queue for the burgers.
Next time, more burger vans.
I think Tom were happy, but also like Mikas is like, how many people? Yeah, a couple hundred cars, a couple hundred people. It'd be fairly chill. And then I seen him at night. I basically sold out of everything. Tomorrow's going to be great. Then.
He basically sold more burgers on Saturday night than he did on Sunday because he sold out so quick because of how popular that pre-meet was. But I think we told him about 200 to 250 people. It'd be nice just to have a couple of beers, a chilled one, have the DJ there and watch the sun go down with basically all his friends. It went again pretty good. Really, we filled what is a 490 capacity. If you lay them out, how we lay them all out, it were more than half full. So, 250 cars. 250, 300 cars, probably. They're about.
Yeah, they were enough.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely coming to that on the next one we come to.
It's nothing flash. Like that's the whole idea.
That's what I like. That's what I like about it. It's cool. It's just cool cars, chilled vibe, burgers, sunset. I mean, what more could you want? And
That's
a DJ.
it. Yeah, and a DJ and just playing some just a good. I mean, a bit windy, but we'll forget about that.
Yeah.
They were fine.
Well, I can't wait to see what you guys do pull out the bag next year, and I think it's safe to say we're going to bring something along to whatever your next event is. So thank you very much for coming on, guys, and look forward to seeing what you do in 2026.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing the clubhouse though, aren't we?
Oh yeah, we are doing clubhouse.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I know you were trying to cut us off.
Alex will
Carry
not stop talking.
We've got a clubhouse, but we've finally got a unit, haven't we?
Yeah.
So that's the one confirmed thing that we can say is that we've got a clubhouse, and you can get a car in it, and we're going to do some cool stuff.
You can get a car in it soon.
Soon, not yet. There's no door on it.
Doing a load of things on it.
Yeah.
And what's the plan? So what's the plan? What's the vision for this?
Initially, I'd say not initially. There's a decent space, and the first thing that we've done that I completed this week, I had a week off work to do it, was just a storeroom to get the shit out of my house. The biggest thing for me and Chloe, my wife, is that we need to get this shit out of our house because
that's the best thing about having an industrial unit. You can put all your house shit in it that you don't want.
My garage was full of driver's collection stuff. Both my lofts in my garage and my house full of driver's collection stuff. The dressing room's just got all we're just metal racking in it with old t-shirts. And it was carnage. And then we had a baby this year. Yeah, this year.
It was this year, yeah.
So then I lost a room for the baby, so I can't say it was a bad thing. But then we got even less space in the house. So I just wanted to get some shit out of my house. So that's the one benefit. And then the next one is we can have a car in there, have a little shop. It's in it's in an old brewery, so it's quite fitting for us. It's like a cool little yard sale.
Whereabouts is that?
In Worksop.
In Worksop.
Not Sheffield, obviously.
What's the tagline that we're running for it? Is it almost in Sheffield or
I think
close to Sheffield?
I think it's something like almost in Sheffield.
Like location close to Sheffield.
Chloe came up with a great tagline for it, but
and then the idea is that we can do so. As Liam was saying, there's space we've really struggled with. We can do more drops. I don't like selling clothes online. It's just I don't know. I'm just not bothered. But we can open it up, do some ticketed events where ultimately you buy it, you put towards a ticket if you want some of the clothing that's going to drop, invite people down and just have like beers and just have a clubhouse. Here's a clubhouse. Cool. More clothing to drop then that way then can't we?
A bit more space.
Yeah.
A bit of an area to work from. Maybe get someone's car in there, take some photos or something.
Just
creative space.
I think we could probably manage to get one of our cars in there if you wanted to do an event.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
featuring
very cool.
said car.
100%.
That would be very cool. That'd be
yeah,
I'd love that.
Be good.
Sounds like I need to have another week off work to finish everything.
Yeah, it's got to look good. No pressure.
Yeah, credit where it's due, mate. I have done fuck all in there, and
Oh yeah, fuck all.
a scraped floor and a few tip runs.
And that win. There weren't much scrape. I've had to re-scrape floor anyway. So
Do we have to redo the tip runs as well?
Yeah. But, I drive about, so I bring something to a party, don't I?
Yeah, we'll make it cool, and then I think that's a great plan.
Yeah.
Get
That
you guys
would be
up on a car
amazing.
and
That would be very cool. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, and but bring all. I don't know. Will this go on the road? Will the podcast go on the road?
Oh well, it's not something
thought
we've
about
considered,
that.
but
Not that you'd have us back on, because all you've done is listen to me waffle shite for however long we've been on. But
That's like anything I go on to talk on.
we'll be close to home then, so we could. I won't give him 5 beers, and then it gets even worse. So.
yeah, that's true. To be fair, yeah, quarter a can of Monster or 10 pints. What's worse?
no, well up for that. Sounds. You have to send me some pictures. If it's in an old brewery, I'm thinking, and knowing your guys' eye for visuals, I'm thinking it's going to look pretty cool. So
Yeah, there's a picture of me on toilet. On
yes,
bowling.
I mean that's the only reason I'd be up for it, to be honest. Guys, it's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you very much
thanks
for
for
coming.
having
Very
us.
good.
Spot on. Nice
Cheers.
one. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.